Yo, so we got another video. This is a reaction to Piers Morgan interviewing Karen Griffin or whatever name she called her name, Elizabeth. Now it's very weird. She's changing her name. I don't know if that's her real name, or she just changed her name. We all know her as Superhead, but people want to change the name now. Like what baptized herself, got rid of the dirt stains so off of her life. Who knows, man? But let's just listen. I did some commentary on this.
Thank you for having me.
A lot of people are kind of aware of your history with Diddy, but for those who know nothing about it, how would you categorize your time with him?
Boy, that was a long breath. Like, boy, she had to really think about that. Let's see what she's gonna say.
My time with Sean was honestly pleasant in the beginning.
Do you see her eyes look to the left? She's like, let me think of something good. It was honestly pleasant in the beginning. So what happened after the beginning? Let's see.
To my recollection, the first time we met, we spent the night together.
To her recollection, so wait, she's wait. Let me get this. Let's put this in perspective. To her recollection, they spent the night together, so she can't really remember. She can only recall slightly. What I think, yeah, she is so doped up on drugs, she can only remember parts of what happened. I could be wrong.
But he was a consummate gentleman with me in that evening. Again, to my recollection.
Again, to my recollection, it's like, huh? I'm confused. Why would you keep saying your recollection? Recollection. What is this? A new word? So your recollections. Let's just say he was a good guy or not. Not to my recollection. God, man, it makes me sick to hear her keep saying my recollection.
And every other time I saw
Biggest
him
word
after
she ever
that
said.
was in a group setting, so it was fine.
Boy, that's it. Or in a group setting. Oh my god, this sounds like she was invited to gangbangs. Oh god, help us. That doesn't sound good at all.
The last time I saw him, however, things had taken a bit of a turn. It was after Confessions of a Video Vixen, my first book had been published, and he was seething when he saw me at Prince had a party at his house, and we were there, of course, before Prince died, and he was scowling at me the whole night, and I found it amusing, but he was.
Diddy was worried. He was worried he could be put inside the book.
He was obviously very angry with me by that point in our relationship.
Why was he so angry with you?
Well, 4 months before Confessions was published in 2005, we got a call from Sean's attorney, my attorney did, and Sean's attorney wanted to see the book before the book came out.
So that goes to show, yeah, that Diddy been doing some nasty stuff with her. But he wanted to make sure his name left out of it. He's like, don't put me in this, man. My reputation is clean. I'm puffing. I'm not puffing no more. I'm Diddy. Don't put me in there doing anything weird.
Confessions of a Video Vixen was an embargoed book, so no one could see it. No one would even get it until the publication date, which is June 5th of that year. And so my attorney told his attorney that he could not get the book and that they would have to wait until the book came out like everyone else. And if they...
Well, Diddy must have been wetting his pants, man. He must have been wetting himself.
Saw a problem in the book, that they were free to reach back out to us, sue us, whatever they felt was necessary. We knew that wouldn't happen because HarperCollins is the publisher of that book, as you know, is a News Corp entity, and those attorneys made sure it was vetted to the fullest, so Sean could never sue, he could never raise any objection to it. And I think
so. What they did, yeah, they put pseudonyms and like winks to who these people might be. I mean, I think there was like Method Man within there. I think Method Man's been married for years now. I don't know. Maybe he broke up with his wife and hooked up with Mrs. Superhead. I don't know. Herb Gotti was in there. But they kind of like wink, nods. They never mention anyone's full name, so that's how they get around people suing them. So you can literally probably guess who these people were. If you're a true hip hop head, you'd be like, ah, that sounds like Method Man, or that sounds like Irv Gotti, or that sounds like Diddy. But they'll never actually use real names, because that opens up for them to be sued. If you put down there like Mr. P Diddy, weed in my mouth, and told me to drink it like it was wine and Ciroc. She wouldn't put that down there.
I think he always
He would sue her ass.
Hated me after that because I left enough. I posed questions in that book that that I think sent.
So this woman was kind of the first Cassie then. Industry pass around girl. So she was the first Cassie, because Cassie was that. A lot of these women are like that, but they don't get too famous. They live out their life like that. They get maybe a celebrity boyfriend here or there, and then they go about their business, get married, have kids, and that was their 20s. They had their fun. Now they want to settle down.
Certain people down the direction that leads us to where we are now.
Just explain that a little more. What were the questions you think that you're talking about?
Well,
You know, you don't want to do the breathing. You know, there's something down the line.
Okay, if there's one AI
Advert.
site builder you need to meet, it's this dope tech from Wix.
honestly, I'm just now getting context on a lot of the questions that I had then. After the trial. The trial gave me way more context. But just about, I think, his sexual proclivities and what we saw in hanging out with him, the kind of clubs he took us to.
That's a wink, wink, nod, nod to him may be bisexual. Diddy may be bi. Because, like, I remember Exhibit coming on was doing an interview, and he was like, he used to hang with Diddy. And Diddy took him to a club, and he said there was men spooning other men. That says it all about Diddy. I mean, through the trial, I think they've done enough to not give us too much of his bisexuality. We know that he likes to bathe himself in men's semen. That's a bit weird. No straight guy would want that around them. That's odd. So we know that much is true. But anything straight up him having sexual relations with a man, we haven't heard that yet. We've heard rumors of it, but nothing in the court came out where they said that, well, him and the Punisher were having a threesome, or, well, they were having a threesome with Cassie, but them were having a threesome with another dude. That never came out.
Even conversations he and I had, one in particular where I didn't understand it at the time. And honestly, Piers, I'm getting new understanding about this line of questioning. I wrote about this in Confessions, where my boyfriend and I at the time had gone to his home for New Year's Eve, Christmas, New Year's Eve kind of festivities. And he pulled me to the side and was just like, we're friends, right? We're friends. And I was like,
hey, Playboy, we're friends, right? We're friends? Diddy's making sure that she ain't write nothing about him.
Yeah, we're friends. And
He probably done that with like a damn matchstick in his mouth.
like, we're good. And I'm like, yeah, we're good. And I couldn't figure out what he meant. And I wrote about this where I didn't know what he was talking about. And he just kind of went on to say, I have kids, I have a mom, and if anything got out.
What was he afraid of, man? What was he afraid of? 'Cause now, man, his mom's there, kids there, the Cassie stuff come out. And I don't know, man. I don't think Diddy wanted any of this stuff to come out about him, but his reputation was in such going down the drain so much that he had no other means to defend himself other to let everything come out through Cassie and the trial. So I don't think he wanted the world to know that he bathes in men's semen. Because now the hip hop world gonna look at him like, that stuff is gay, right? We hip hop. We don't rock with that, man. You meant to be the mogul. We don't rock with you doing bisexual stuff. I mean, hip hop's changed right now, but still, there's a little thing about gay men and hip hop, and people don't really rock with it like that. The black people, it's like they're not really open to bisexuality in that type of sense. when it comes to hip hop, you know.
out, it would really hurt them. And I honestly, at that point in stage, did not know or remember what he was talking about. And so we just kind of laughed it off, like, what's going on with him, you know? And things like he said to my boyfriend, like, don't trust her, you know, she might have her on video with, you know, in precarious positions, and this is back before cell phone cameras. So I was just like, what video? I didn't understand any of it.
Damn, it's one of those damn VHS videos, man. Those camcorders back in the days. But you know, people now we got phones that record videos. But back in the days, Diddy Boy took out a camcorder and started filming stuff. Just for those memories.
Now after the trial and the things that have come out from the trial, this gives the...
You know what made me laugh? I think that she wished she could have done what Cassie did. She looked at what Cassie got money-wise. She's like, damn. No amount of dirt I got them rappers. I could have milked them for 100 million. But her time's gone now, man. She can't do she hasn't really got that much. I don't know. I think she probably still had some sort of dirt there, so she's waiting. So I think let's see what happens with Diddy and how much if he gets sent. If she comes out with something else, because I want to know, because she's really entwined into the industry. So you know what I mean.
These conversations a lot more context, but at the time when Confessions came out, it did make us all wonder, what was he so afraid of? I didn't even know what I had seen or didn't see, or if there's something happened that I didn't remember from our time together. But he was very afraid that I would say something in the book. And honestly, I think he never contacted us back because what he thought I was going to say, I did not say. Possibly because I didn't remember it.
What do you think he was fearful of you saying?
I have to be honest, Piers, you know, in booking this time with you today, and your producer asked me to kind of send over some pages from the book. I hadn't read Confessions since I wrote it, and I read it for the audio version, and that was 2005. It's been 20 years since I've read this book.
Damn, time flies.
And in reading what I sent over, which is what I just described to you right now,
the only thing people respect is
Free music. Just feel the urge.
With 19 hotel brands?
Yeah, so I was saying, man, what's she saying now?
I wonder a lot of things. He was so afraid that I knew something. And I was confused because the only time that we had together prior to this conversation was alone time at his home, wherein I felt we had a good time. I didn't know, you know, he didn't come on to me. He just seemed it was very platonic, I thought. So I was confused as to what was it? And so I have to admit, my mind kind of races now that I have more context of his proclivities and what he's capable of what he was so afraid of, what he thought I knew or what he thought I remembered.
I mean, in the book, you talk about the first time you met.
She knows exactly what he thought she remembered, but she ain't saying it.
Diddy in a nightclub at 3 a.m. You said, right there in front of me, Diddy and Gotti, who was the Murder Inc. Records boss.
Did he call him Dotty? Or did he say Gotti? Because it says Dotty. He sounded like he said Dotty, right? Dotty. He must have said Dotty. Let me just rewind that.
He just seemed it was very platonic, I thought. So I was confused as to what was it?
Let's rewind
and
it.
So
Like
I have to admit, my
Dotty.
mind kind of races now that I have more context.
Maybe it's the English in this guy,
of
man.
his proclivities and what he
Let's
was
smoke his
capable
English.
of what he was so afraid of, what he thought I knew or what he thought I remembered.
I mean, in the book, you talk about the first time you met Diddy in a nightclub at 3 a.m. You said, right there in front of me, Diddy and Gotti, who was the Murder Inc. Records
He did say Dotty.
boss of Gotti.
Yeah.
Made arrangements.
He corrected. He said Gotti now. Yeah.
Was to send me to Diddy's house in 1 hour. It was 4 a.m. I turned.
Boy, man, these guys are fast, man. He got himself his superhead. He's like, man, you send that to me in an hour. You make sure she's cream, clean, and full of baby oil.
turned up to Diddy's home in my SUV. There were security guards in the driveway, all dressed in dark suits with their hands in front of them. They had been expecting me. The things that went on when Gotti and I were together are almost unimaginable to me now. But in the haze of drugs and liquor, it all seemed all right.
Bloody hell, man. She must have been drinking up that Diddy P and the Gotti P. God. She's so drugged up, man. She's just drinking the P like it's a rock. Oh, that's
I was being
crazy.
used over and over again, man after man, all friends and acquaintances of Gotti.
Look at her face. She's ashamed now, man. She thought she washed off the scum stains off of her body. It's still there, stupid head.
I quickly became Gotti's showpiece. He would turn other people in the industry onto me. I was his party
But she looked proud a bit. She looks a bit proud, like, yes, I was that girl. Cassie got nothing on me.
favour. Whenever there was anyone Gotti wanted to impress, he would send them to me and I'd take care of them.
Bloody hell, take care of them. Whoa, that's something else.
I mean, could it be that what Sean Combs was worried about was that he facilitated this very transactional relationship that you had with Irv Gotti? Is that part of this?
I don't think that was it. And honestly, I think it was more.
Oh, this woman's something else. She's trying to backtrack on the stuff that she wrote and the life she was living. I don't think it was that.
More insidious than that. The fear, the fright that he had that during that conversation at his Miami home, back in whatever year that was, he seemed terrified that I had known something.
Wait a minute, terrified. The guy bathes in man semen. He was doing all types of drugs, and he's a public figure, hip hop mogul, worth nearly $1 billion. Well, at the time, he wasn't worth nearly $1 billion, but he was worth hundreds of millions, and you have enough secrets to tear down his empire. You think what Cassie done was bad? This woman has more dirt on Diddy than what Cassie had. Oh, God forbid she comes out and tells the truth about Diddy. Oh, I'm glad she never got caught up.
And I just don't know what he thought I knew or remembered. The transactional nature of how we met, and which is why, I said in various interviews before that I was gifted to him, it was because no one asked me if I wanted to go. No one asked me.
Dang. Gifted, like it's a present. I got a present for you, Diddy. God, he's like licks people's bums. I remember he back in the day he used to lick Jay's ass, and he licks Diddy. He still to people he looked up to because he had his little puppet Ja Rule. Ja Rule was a puppet to him. He produced the songs. Ja Rule sing up, jump up and down and sing. I'm Ja Rule, murder. That's Ja Rule. And Irv got to be in the background doing like this. I'm Irv.
They talked about me as if I wasn't there. I was property to cart around.
He was property.
And that's what they did. If they would have asked me, I still would have gone. So
What's the point in complaining then? It's like, the actor that I wasn't there. But I still would have done it.
I didn't hold any objection at the time because I would have still done it.
That's what I'm laughing at. I would have still done it. I would have still complied with the gangbangs. But the fact that they actually sat down there and acted like I wasn't there, that's what really bothered me. But I would have still done it though.
21 and it's Diddy and we're having fun and it's just a Saturday night out in LA.
Bloody hell. That woman's crazy, man. Talk about like confessions of a hoe. I couldn't in the slightest, my mind's just buggling that this woman's almost complaining, but yet again saying, oh yeah, I would still be a hoe for them. I was 21. I like the lifestyle. It's like, why come on Piers Morgan and slightly complain? The only problem is, yeah, she look like she's a bit bitter that she never got the 30 million payout that Cassie got. Because she weren't brave enough to go up against these guys. Because she was scared. That's what I think. Because I think when Cassie was going to come up with that book, she wasn't going to leave out any names. She was going to publish a name. That's what Diddy was scared she was going to do. So when she came out and says, oh, I'm going to put a book, Diddy was scared. He was like, uh-oh. So when Cassie came out with the book, and pre-warned him, then he was scared. But then what Cassie started to do, she started to drip feed things through the... See, the internet wasn't that big back then. And YouTube wasn't that big. But now with the internet being what it is, you can drip feed little bits and bobs and the internet will run with it, run like wildfire. And that's what they did. And they started to put pieces together and think, oh yeah, this sounds like this and this sounds like that. And that's where we are now. But she was trying to do what Cassie did back in the days. But it wasn't really the time for it. So if she was the industry whole now, and she was releasing that book, someone would have paid her out before she released the book, or paid her to redact names. But, you know, it was 2005. So she never really got that much... she got paid for the book, but that's about it really. And I don't think the book done that well to the point where she's like got 30 million. Could be wrong. I could be wrong. I haven't read it, but you know, I think I saw some inserts that people were reading about it back in the days. Yeah, it's like wink, wink, nod, nod names. You know, that sounds like Method Man. That sounds like Diddy. Blah blah blah. You know, but yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.